Hey now, we're back. It is March 3rd. It's already March 3rd. I'm almost done with my busy season. I'm halfway done. Anyways, Cal Hubbard. Baseball Hall of Fame autograph fans know that Cal Hubbard is the only player inducted both in the Baseball Hall of Fame and the Football Hall of Fame. An original member of the 1963 NFL Hall of Fame. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, I think it was in 1976, a year before he passed away. So because he was such a big football player and his autograph, he was a great signer through the mail. So his autograph is commonly available. It's not a rare autograph necessarily. What we'll see in a moment is what makes him rare is plaque postcards. For those people that collect plaque postcards, it is available. It does exist. Unfortunately, they are quite expensive. It would be even more expensive, I think, if he were a baseball player and not a baseball umpire. I think the fact that he was an umpire makes him a little less desirable because he's not a player, but I'm digressing. Not too much to say from him from a baseball point of view. He was a chief of the American League for about 18 years. And he was at the Hall of Fame ceremony before he died. He was suffering from emphysema at the time because he was a heavy smoker. So instead of talking too much about Cal Hubbard, let's look at the autograph analysis of Cal Hubbard. So hold on right now while we go to our PSA database. So again, wanted to start here because this is important. You can see this was written in 1976. This is about a year before he died. There's actually two autographs on here. And what you can tell by these autographs is the fact that he still had a pretty nice autograph, even at age, whatever, a year before he passed away. So what's important about Cal Hubbard's autograph when you're looking at right here and again down here is the fact that you could see, usually the C, you could be able to see almost like two lines. The C comes down right here is where he starts it. Doesn't necessarily have to hit the bottom C, but it should fall below like this A right here. It shouldn't end real high. It's almost always a straight line, wraps around. He usually had breaks between the A and the C and the A, but again, not always. He wasn't the most consistent signer in terms of that. The H right here is usually a two-stroke H right here. Is the fact that you can see it comes right down. And again, this may be a print, but like down here, you can see like it usually leans a little bit to the right, as you can see right here. It comes straight down like this, comes back up. And usually the H looks a little bit like an A in the sense that it almost connects. Sometimes it does connect very briefly to the top right here. He comes down, he loops around down. The B's can look different, but again, they should be, he signed at a nice level playing field. So no matter what autograph you're looking at, it should be level, like almost he signed on a flat line. He was very good like that. And the D usually wraps around. Sometimes it comes back down out of here. Sometimes it comes like this and straight down. So, I mean, let's just go to a few more examples right here. So again, right here, you can see the C coming down below the A. Here we have the break between the C and the A. The Cal, the Hubbard, you see this H races down. So you can see that A right here. You see that it comes over here. And again, the B's look very similar. It's on a nice level plane. The D wraps around. Not always, usually the D's don't touch, but I've seen where they touch. But again, you want to see this nice loop right here and come down like this. So again, very consistent signature right here. Again, you see how the C comes down below the A. There's a break. There's the Cal. Again, it's on a pretty nice level playing field right here. Now, if you sent an autograph to Cal Hubbard to his house, he was commented and like notorious for signing in a black ball felt tip pen, which you will see didn't always hold up that great. But here again, this is probably a later in life signature where the D just again, D comes up like this, it races out. You can see how it leans to the right, this autograph right here. By then, the later in life didn't have this racing H. It was a clear, different two-stroke H right here. Again, right here, later in life, probably signed at home. You could tell that because, again, it's a black felt tip pen, but you see the C comes down, which is an important thing. This time it crosses the bottom. Like it doesn't have to, but it falls below the A. You see how the H sort of reaches out right here. You can't see the A right here, but you can see where this sort of goes up. It comes off the piece of paper. It comes back up here with a two-stroke H right here. Again, nice level right here. The B's look very consistent. The D, again, he wraps around right here. Sometimes, again, the D ends up here. Sometimes it ends here. Sometimes he comes down and loops it around. It's a very flamboyant D. Now, again, this is a good one. Again, these are rare. You're going to spend a couple $100 because, again, he only had a 1-year window to sign these. If I were looking for a Cal Hubbard signed plaque and it's not in a black felt tip pen, I'd be very weary. I don't care who was the TPA on this, but again, I think this one's good. You can sort of see right here, again, he comes down like this. You could see the lean to the right here. The B's are similar. The D's kind of awkward right here, but again, this is like last year of his life, he was very sick with emphysema when he signed it. Again, now we're looking at much earlier baseballs right here, where again the C still comes down right here below the A, straight down. The H is still a 2-stroke H. You can't see the race, but again, this is like during. He didn't play baseball, but like this is during his umpiring career when he signed this baseball. And again, you can see a very nice level playing field in the no hesitation whatsoever. And the D wraps around. This time, instead of wrapping around and down, he came around like this. But again, this is a more uncommon D and a more uncommon signature. Usually when you're buying a Cal Hubbard autograph, it's a later in life, let's say, kind of like what you're looking at right here. Again, you can see where the C came down right here below the A. There's a break between the C and the A. The H sort of races up right here, comes off, it comes back, it sounds right around here. Again, you can sort of see that D racing around. The B is a little awkward because it's not very level, but again, I still like it. I would say this is a good ball. Sorry, a good autograph. Good ball. Again, this is, again, I think a later in life autograph. He signed this at home. Black felt tip marker right here. You can see the H sort of races up right here. The C falls below the A. The D kind of races around. It goes through the D. This is what he did later in life as well. So, I mean, that's a lot with Cal Hubbard. I mean, going through, I want to show a couple examples. So this example is sold for $210 a while back. I think he has a PSA certification on it. No, pre-certified by PSA, LOA from Jane Spence. I don't know who signed this autograph. I really don't think it's Cal Hubbard. I mean, the reason is, like, even though you can see the racing right here, usually the H comes in right here. I mean, if we go back to an H right here, not this one. That's why I just want to show a difference in what we're supposed to see with the Cal Hubbard and not. So again, a later in life Cal Hubbard, and again, this is saying 1970s, but even the later in life Cal Hubbard, he signed nicely. He signed on a signed plane. Let me close this one out right here. These B's are all over the place. I mean, like, unless was on his deathbed. I mean, you can see the, what's it called? The ups and the downs. Like, even later in life, it was a nice, you can read his autograph very nicely. The B's are very different right here. I don't know who signed this ball, but I don't think it's Cal Hubbard. I have to be absolutely honest with you. And if it was, I wouldn't touch this ball. We're going to get back to this ball in a little bit. So another thing to be careful about is these 1955 Bowman cards. He did have a card there. Someone asked if this card is good on a website, and I had a very tough time. Ron says only one card of this exists that's good, and someone wrote here it's good. I don't think it is, strictly because Cal Hubbard signed top down back up. Whoever signed this sign starting up like this, you see right here with the C. I just never seen a Cal Hubbard sign like that. In addition to that, like, this is like, it's very racing right here is the fact that, and this D usually goes up and then down. It doesn't come like around like this, like a little, like, I don't know what, like a circle. Again, if we go back to right here, you see how, again, it's a circle right here. It feels off to me. It really does feel off to me, this Cal Hubbard. So again, this is no TPA authenticated. It's someone just authenticated it. So be very careful. Looking on eBay, everything here is good except for one, which we'll get to in a second. But again, if you're looking for Cal Hubbard, they start at $200. I think you can get one for $100, a check, maybe $115, $150, maybe. They're out there. The checks are exist. So again, even the autograph that I own of his, I didn't get to it. Well, you're not going to see it, but it's not that big of a deal. You can Google it. There's a lot of checks out there. So again, everything on eBay I think is good, with the exception of the most expensive baseball on eBay right now. Yes, we just saw this. It sold for $215, and now they're asking $6,745. It is the same autograph. I am really not a fan of this autograph at all. It is like all over the place. It's just not a fan. Again, this is it was certified in 2010. So I would just be very careful of this autograph. I would not be buying this Cal Hubbard autograph. So anyways, where are we? Yeah, so that's 10 minutes on Cal Hubbard. So we're going to go from Cal Hubbard to Carl Hubble. So Carl Hubble, real cool facts about Carl Hubble, which all Carl Hubble fans probably know. So anyways, that's enough. As always, keep collecting.